Get on board with crypto. Sheesh.
Hello and welcome to another crazy episode of Blast Off the Ribs. Yes, I'm your host that gives you all the sauce for ribs. Today's sauce, Jerome Powell delivered us some news today that the Fed will be increasing their rates by 0.75%, 0.75% for interest rates. Is this good or bad? Well, they base their information off of analytical data based on the CPI and inflation rates. So, I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. He asked a lot of questions. So, if you want to head on over to either my Red Wave page, my Twitter page, you can find the link right on the page. I did post it earlier today about the FOMC press conference, so you can get it right there, right now, at the time of watching this video. So, Ridiculous Ribs on the redwave.com, redwave.com/ridiculousribs, or hit me up, BlastOffWRibs on Twitter. And now we're going to get into it. Fear and greed index is at one of the lowest numbers I've ever seen it at. I don't think I've seen it at lower than an 8. It is at currently a 7. So there's a lot of fear in the markets today. Crazy. The Bitcoin price has seen new levels, and I will remove all these indicators here. Let's remove my Bollinger Bands as well. And let's get rid of the RSI here. So, what are we looking at? Ooh, you know what? We could even see, I'm just noticing this now, but I was going to talk about another one. Let's put a trend line in here. Wow. So we are breaking out of this level. But to give it a little perspective, so this is the all-time high right here. So let's see how far we've come down from there to where we are kind of right now. I think we're right here. So we've come down about 68% at the time of making this video. And to give you a little more perspective, we've come down a total of 70 to 71%. And we haven't gone even further than that in some historical data pieces as far as 80%. And let's take a look at what that level really looks like. 80% is, ooh, I hit 79, not quite 80. Around that 13K level, 13,700. So, interesting times, interesting measures, interesting things happening all the time. Yes, we are in a bearish market. I am announcing that. I am still very bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Man, it is some troubling times to say the least. Jerome Powell did mention that we are not going to enter a recession. Our levels have not quite hit that yet, but, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt. I like to do my own research, as should all of you. All of you should be making your own decisions, doing your own research, and not relying on everything else. Granted, the Fed is a federal organization for the United States and the treasurer of the global currency, that is the US dollar. So, there's a lot to take into effect. It is a global currency. But the pattern here that we're actually going to get into, I'm going to stop talking about that since I don't really want to get into that too much right now. We're going to get back on track here. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and what we can actually see. So one of the patterns that I kind of noticed this morning is this head and shoulders pattern that did form. And we've been kind of seeing it break down. If we take a look here at the trend line from the top of the head down to the bottom of the shoulder here, we are currently breaking down, and we could see levels. Now there's a bunch of resistance levels, and that's kind of why I removed everything. Before I had a lot of different lines in there. So I want to put back some of these horizontal lines. So there's some significant support and resistance here. That if we zoom out a little bit, here is the all-time high level, previous all-time high level, and look at kind of where we are. There is a little action going on here. In a previous video, I did kind of consider that to be something. Taking some time, and I've watched some other YouTubers. Me personally, it is a level to consider, but it's not significant enough to really do anything, because right now we dropped straight through it. So it's not really any significant level. And we did kind of stop right here just before it. So if we zoom back right out, if I can go even further out of this pattern here, here's the previous all-time high, and I really want to touch on this. So this is the all-time high even before that one. So that was what, the 1200 range. As you can see here, times are very much different this time, okay? And that's kind of why I'm bringing this to everybody's attention here. And we have never actually done this. I'm gonna see if I can go even further. I think the data doesn't go back that far. Okay, so here, yes, it will. Okay, great. This is actually good because it wasn't loading in before. So I think, okay. I don't know if this was the final all-time high. That was in March 2013. I don't think that was considered to be an all-time high, but we can put that in there. I think that's something to touch on. The all-time high was actually right here. For that one, for this one, the all-time high was here, and I guess we can even go a little further back and say that this one right here, and even this one. I don't know if you consider this one to be an all-time high, but as you can see, this one didn't retest, this one didn't retest, this one didn't retest. If you consider this to be the all-time high before it, we didn't really go into a bull market or a bearish market here. Let's see how far we kind of came down. It was kind of more an immediate drop. We went up, we dropped, we kind of came back up. I don't really know what you want to call this segment, but I guess if we want to put it into the data, this is actually some good things to consider because it did happen. We went up to an all-time high, we kind of crashed back down 80%. So from that all-time high, so we could be retesting this type of level here where that previous all-time high, and this would be the only other location in this entire chart other than where we're seeing us right now. Retesting an all-time high because there is kind of another resistance here, support line rather, another support line pretty much right around there where it did touch as support and kind of go back up. And if we want to zoom in there, let's zoom in just a little bit here. Yeah, as you can see, we touched it there. We even touched it right there. So there are 3 points of that. So we could consider that support. This was the previous all-time high before that. And we could be seeing something like this play out where we came awfully close right here. To that all-time high. We bounced back up, we did some other stuff, and we came downstairs and we broke that. It was considered a support, broke through, now a resistance line, and retested a few times, faked out to the upper side and went kind of sideways here. So we could be seeing something more along the lines of this. And I just found this out right here, looking at you guys, showing you guys this stuff. So pretty urgent news. I really hope this is something that is beneficial to you guys, but always do your own research. This channel is not financial advice for anybody, but I did hopefully help you guys learn something new. We have not retested all-time highs. Unless you consider this area to be an all-time high again, then yes, we have in fact gone back and broke down from the previous all-time high, and created different levels before breaking up to create new all-time highs. So what does that mean? What does that mean, guys? If we even bring this line down a little bit for this head and shoulders pattern, we might even be able to bring this one up, bring you up. We could be even seeing something play out with that. Do you want to get a new trend line in here? Which is about, it's about the same. It's the same line. Just a little shorter, I think. So we'll just go ahead and delete that. So we could be retesting that level. It is possible. Usually head and shoulders patterns don't usually play out fully. At least not 100% of the time. So, and it looks like we've actually gone up even more since the news from the Fed came out. So this is good. The Bitcoin and the crypto space is going up since the FOMC meeting earlier today at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you guys wanted to watch that, please check out go onto YouTube. You can type in FOMC and Google it. It'll bring you there. You can also go on my redwave.com/ridiculousribs, and the live stream would have been there, which should bring you to the non-live version of that. And that's it for today, guys. Please smash up that like button. Hit the subscribe button, the bell button, and all if you want to get time-sensitive events when I do post my videos once a week. I will be working on that. I will be working on the sound, and I will be working on the background in the meantime. Until then, guys, keep doing your own research. Stay into the markets. Stay ahead of them, and don't get wrecked out there. So stay safe, guys, and keep blasting off.
Get on board with crypto. Shoo.